Courtney, relief in the end.
Yeah, mate, just about, mate. It's listen, one thing I can't question is character again. Last two games we've had 10 men to finish the game, and we've come through and won the game. So I said to lads before, win the game any way you can. I think I said at one point, listen, if we win 7-6, I'll take it. But I've just gone in there and said, listen, I've got to start winning games better and learn to win games better, because we'll come unstuck at some point. To be in total control of the game and then something like that happens and a red card, it's totally changes the game, and it makes it difficult. And you give sides that have got a lot of will and commitment. Fair play to them, they've chucked everything at us, made it difficult. But we've got to knock the stuffing out of them sort of sides, and to go 3, 4 and 5, that's what we've got to do. And we've got to see out little periods, and we're poor for 5 minutes and give the ball away and invited them onto us a little bit, and then the red card happens, and it's just a combination of everything, and made the game a little bit more scrappy than it should have. But listen, 3 points is massively important. To win 6 games on the bounce at any level of football is a big thing. We just got to keep going. Every single game is massively important. GMP now is the biggest game of the season because it's the next one. So we go on to that one. We've won a game of football, and hopefully going into that we can get something out of that as well.
Starting the positives, that first half display and lots of free flowing football. You seem to use the pitch made damp by the rain this morning to your advantage.
Yeah, we've got we've used loads of different shapes this year. I think against Roaster, Jack Edwards best player on the pitch. And he's on the bench this week, so I've always said to the lads from the start of the season that listen, there's going to be games for everybody. We approach every game with a team in mind to play against that team. Now we wanted to get a few more attacking players on the pitch. That was why Dan played, and once it settled down, Dan and Reece were brilliant on the ball, and they ticked us over, and we had the options of going with the 2 wide men. And we can play in different ways. It's a big old pitch here, so we have to use that to our advantage. It's always going to be scrappy first 10-15 minutes when you're finding out about teams and they're finding out about us. But importantly, when it's settled down, we got on the ball and we dictated the play. So yeah, massively important. I don't think you'll see 3 worse goals in a football game. Everyone was a bit scrappy, but listen, we take them.
It was Reece Charles' first goal for the club, which might be a bit of a surprise, but a word on him because he's often a lesser talked about hero in the middle of the park.
Fantastic. A kid of 17 to be able to do what he does is fantastic. I don't think there's any other lads that I've seen at his age that can do what he can do. He can play anywhere. We play him right back, play him right wing back. He can play up front. He can play anywhere. He's just got that ability to be able to affect any game of football in any which way. You've seen him there that he's run around for 90 minutes and he's pressing and ratting in the last 10 minutes of the game where you've been stuck in your own half, but he's got that desire to try and win the ball higher up for us. And he's been brilliant. It's a scruffy one, but you take it. I'm pleased for Reece because he's a great kid, really nice lad, wants to learn, listens to all the experienced lads in there, takes everything on board that you say. And he's been brilliant, yeah, and I'm glad that he's got a little bit of plaudits there because he's been brilliant.
This sort of last half hour, did it just kind of get away from us a little bit?
Yeah, I think that Matt's made a mistake for the goal. As I said to him there, it's the first thing that you've done wrong since you've been here. So and then his test of character is the next cross that comes and he comes and takes it. So for me, you forget about the mistake, you move on. I think we as a team let it affect us a little bit. Went into a shell a little bit and kind of went deep. It's easy to do that when teams are pinning you in. We've got to be brave and get higher up the pitch. We've got to keep doing what we were doing, and to enable us to affect the game how we want to affect it, we need our better players higher up the pitch affecting the ball. And we didn't do that second half. So and then when you go down to 10 men, you're kind of just sitting in, trying to break the play, trying to have half chances from set pieces, and your long throw and things like that. But he just got really scrappy, and I think if there's not the red card there, I think you go on and win the game comfortably. But it is what it is. It's football. These things happen, and it's a test for us as a staff and management to be able to make the changes we did. You probably want to bring on Danny Harris there and get him some minutes because he's not been involved for a while. But it is what it is. We have to make changes to win a game of football, and fortunately for us, we've got through it and got 3 points.
Do you take heart from the fact that apart from the 2 goals, which were as you mentioned, a mistake and a worldy strike, that Matt Hill wasn't really tested?
No, they've had 2 shots. They've had 2 shots and scored 2 goals. The second goal's a absolutely brilliant strike. Fair play to him. It's a fantastic finish. The other one, Matt's dropped across and they've tapped it in. So, they've had 2 shots on goal, scored 2. Other than that, they've not really opened us up. Even when we were down to 10 men and they're trying to put things into the box, we threw our body on the line, we're winning headers, we're winning tackles, Matt's coming for crosses, slowing the game down. And that's testament to the group we've got in there. I think earlier on in the season, like we did, if that comes, the first 2 or 3 games of the season, I think we lose. I don't even think we get a point. I think we cave in, but there's stronger characters in there now. And there's a desire to win football matches any which way. It'll come that we'll win more comfortable. But for the time being, if that's how it's got to be, not good for the ticker. But it is what it is. 3 points is 3 points, and you take it at the end of the day.
And just finally, you mentioned Mark Williams, a couple of other names missing, Ollie Bradshaw, Ben Ashby, are they all right?
Yeah, Ben Ashby's been away for a week, so he was unavailable. And again, we left Brad out the squad. We've got, Ben Kendrick's come out of the team where he's won 5 games on the spin. But we felt it'd be a game for Kai today. We know that they've had a couple of big strikers that play up against him. Just felt that Kai was the better option for us today, and he's decent on the ball and to enable us to play them sorts of passes in between the channels. And we've got the options now to be able to change. It's difficult for Brad, but we've got a squad now where we have to get the best out of each one. There'll always be a time where someone's going to be left out of the squad or on the bench, even though they've played well the game before. We've got to. We're in a position now where I think a squad of 18 to 20 players wins this league or gets promoted, and that's what we've got to have. I think though last season we were short on numbers, it killed us a little bit. So we've enabled ourselves this year to have a better squad, and that's what we've got to have. I think squads win this league and squads get promoted, and that's what we've got to do. It's a collective effort.